Hey crafty friends, this is Nye here. So today what we are going to do is we are going to make a poison apple box, okay? So you can see my prototype that I made right here. It's kind of fun. So that's what we're going to make today, okay? So I'm going to be using my art glitter glue here for all of my gluing. I also have my bone folder here that I don't know if I'll use it. I probably won't, but I have it just in case. And I also have a glue stick that I'm going to use to kind of help me just kind of break up the fibers of the paper, because this is a craft where the entire thing is going to be curved. And so it's going to be a little difficult. This one's going to be a little bit more on the difficult side just because of all of these curves. And our paper is not really curved. It's going to want to stay straight, okay? So this one's going to be a little bit more challenging than normal here. Okay, so I've got all of my pieces. They're cut out here. I don't really have them lined up in any particular order. What I do want to recommend though is when you had cut it out and you took it off of your mat, really just try and keep those pieces together. These are the two pieces that went with the top, and these were the two pieces that went with the bottom. It's going to be really hard to differentiate them because all four of them are different sizes, and it's just going to be really difficult. So you do kind of want to try and make sure that you have them together. If you did not, what I want you to do is take your pieces and kind of line them up like this. You want to have the two pieces for the bottom that look like it's going to be about maybe 2/10 of an inch here, okay? So you can hopefully you can see that this is about 2/10 of an inch, whereas the pieces that go, so that was for the top. Hopefully I said that. And then this one's for the bottom, and you can see that it's a little bit smaller, okay? So let me see if I can put these two side by side, and hopefully you can see that the difference between the two, okay? Now, for the apple, we have 3 pieces of the apple, and what I want you to do is kind of make sure that you've got the orientation, which is the top of the apple here. You can see how it kind of goes up a little bit on one side. You want to make sure that all 3 of your apples have the same orientation to start. So hopefully you can see that as well here. And then stack them up, all right? So when you stack them up, you're going to see that they're all different sizes. The smallest size is going to be the insert that goes inside the bottom of the box. Then that middle size is going to be the bottom of the box. And the top size, the largest size, is going to be the lid of the box, okay? So again, it's going to be a little tricky to kind of keep the order of this. All right, and so what I want you to do is I also want you to go ahead, because what we need to do is make sure that when we're putting it together, we don't put it together so that way the orientation ends up going like this. So where you would see the curve going in opposite directions, otherwise the box won't fit together. So this one's really, this one's going to be just really tricky here, okay? So orientation is really important for this one, and we're going to go really slow. So hopefully the video won't end up being too long, but we're going to go really slow assembling this one together here, okay? So I'm going to put this one here because this is my lid and my lid sides here. And then I'm going to put this one here because this one is my base. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that my orientation is, or my apple orientation, I've got this big part of the curve on this side, on my right side. All right. So I'm going to put it down like this. And then I'm going to grab my side pieces and I'm going to begin to fold. Now this is where you can use your bone folder if you want. I like to cheat, and I'll probably just end up using my fingers here just to fold right along all of these score lines here. So I'm going to do this one here, and then I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this second one too. So that way when I'm ready to go, I'm going to use my bone folder right there. So that way when I'm ready to go to glue, I'm good to go here. So I'm just folding these down, and there we go. All right. Okay, excuse me. So once you have the score lines and the tabs folded, now what we need to do is we need to kind of break up the fibers of the paper, because this one is so curved. We're really going to just need to bend the paper here. So you can use a glue stick and just take your glue stick and just kind of roll along here to just break up those fibers, or use your hands and just really get in there and soften up that paper. Okay, I'm gonna do this one as well. So once again, when I'm ready to go, I don't forget, because that's always a possibility once you get started with gluing. So I did that one there, and then I'm just gonna come back in and use my finger to really get it going there. Okay, so I've got the orientation. I want the bigger part of the curve on this side. And what I'm going to do is, I think I'm just gonna start along the side here. It doesn't really matter where you start. Just pick a spot and then get going. Now, because everywhere is curved, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time, and I'm only going to glue 2 tabs at a time. One, because when I'm going to do this, I'm going to start along the side right here where it's a little bit more straight. So that way I can just get going and it's a little bit more straight there. Now, why I'm only doing 2 tabs is because I really just have to slow down, because there's really no straight part, and the curves kind of, they come up on you. And so you just got to go slow with this one. This is just one of those, take your time. And then once you do, again, just press things down and hold them. This is one where we're going to also want the glue to really bond to the paper and create that seal, so that way it doesn't come up on us as we're going. When you get to the curves, like let's say this part here of the apple, I probably should have just done the one. Again, I'm going to grab this part on the inside, this tab here on the inside with my finger, and just kind of hold it down, because what's going to happen is I want the tab that I'm holding down to actually sit on top of the tab that I'm holding with my left hand and gluing. And so this one that I'm holding down, I want this tab here to actually sit right on top of this one, because that's going to kind of help get it right on that curve. So I've got it there, I'm holding it. Let me flip it over so you guys can see. It overlaps on it just a little bit here. So you can hopefully see it there. It overlaps just a little bit, but that overlap is really important to help maintain the curve of the apple here. All right, so now I'm going to do 2 more again. And so now I've got the dip of the apple. And so again, you just kind of want to follow and bend the paper as you're going and holding it on the inside so that the glue, so you're gluing it, you just want to follow the paper right there, and follow the line, I should say, the edge of the apple. Then as you can see, I'm pushing it out with my finger underneath to get the paper to separate here so I can add the glue. So 2 more tabs there. I'm going to do the one, and then there we go. And then again, 2 more tabs. And so this one's going to end, it looks like, right on the corner here. So I'm just holding it and giving it a chance to bond there. And then I'm going to do this last one, which is going to end up right on kind of the curve. And then I'm going to hold it again. Okay. So there, you can kind of see this is where it's going to be on the bottom. It's just a little bit of a bend, not huge there. All right, so let me grab the other piece. And, okay, so I've got this part of my tab, and there's one here. You want the tab to connect to the side that doesn't have one. So you can see it right here. That's where I want it to connect, okay? So again, I'm only going to do 1 tab here, a little bit of the glue squirted there, but I'm only going to do the one. I'm going to add a little bit to the tab there. And then let's see if I can hold it this way so you guys can see it as well. And it's going to be a little tricky. All right. So I'm pressing this part here. I'm sealing it right there. And then I'm going to hold it on the inside there. Okay. And then I'm holding this up again. I'm going to add some glue right to the next two tabs. And once more, just pressing it down, sealing it there with the glue. And then the next two tabs as well. And so, like I said, because of the curves of this one, you just really, you can't just add glue everywhere and then just hope that the paper bends and everything works out. This is one where you just really have to slow down a little bit. I probably should have just done the one right there because I'm coming right to the edge here. And so I'm holding this one down because it's going to go on top again. And there. Okay. All right, so I'm almost there. I know that it's not a big piece, but just because of the curves, like I said, it makes it seem like it's going to take so much longer here. And I'm going to bend it and then tilt this part up. And then just use my finger there to hopefully create more of that seam there with the glue. And then I'm going to come back in, do the next two tabs. And I should have done the one because I came right again towards that corner there. I'm going to hold it down while I glue this one. And then I'm going to bend it. Okay. And then I'm just holding it here so it will dry. I just realized I got really quiet there. Okay, and so for these last two pieces, I'm going to add my glue. And this is where, again, that needlepoint glue that you have that you can attach to your glue, it's really nice because it's going to get you right into that spot, those tight spots, without having to like destroy your project as you're putting it together. Okay, and so there we go. That's the bottom. Perfect, right? Okay, so now we've got the insert, and so that insert will sit right in there. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one down. Again, make sure you have orientation. It's really important. If you get it the wrong way, you can see like there's going to be a little bit more friction with it. It'll fit, but it'll just be a little bit more friction. All right, so then just place it in. Make sure you've got it right. And then I'm going to add my glue to the back here. And so this part is just to kind of hide some of the tabs so it looks nice when you open it up. I didn't include one for the top because, well, I just feel like nobody really looks at the top. So if you guys want one for the top, you're just going to have to send me a message and let me know, okay? All right, so I've got that there. So here's the base. And so now let's work on getting the top done. Okay, so as also, before you go ahead and do the top, again, check the orientation. All right, because what you want to do is we don't want, so if you take a look at this, my curve is this way. This is the way that I want my lid to sit on top, which means that I cannot add the sides to this part. I have to add the sides underneath here. So that way it fits into or over the base of the box, okay? That's really, really important. So definitely before you start, check to make sure that you've got the right orientation. All right, I'm going to put this one up here. So let me just double check one more time. I've got it right. This is the way that I want it. And I'm going to now flip mine, and then I'm going to go ahead and start doing this, start folding along the score lines here for the side pieces. And so again, I'm just folding them here. I'm going to lift them back out. I'm going to do the other one as well. And then just folding it one more time. I'm just trying to be quick. I don't know. I'm trying to decide maybe if I should speed up the video for this part or not. I don't think I will because they're tricky. And so I'm using my glue stick here to just break up the fibers of the paper, just really getting everything loose there. I used my finger as well. And then I'm doing the other side here. And you guys could probably hear the sound of it. It's probably coming through. And I'm gonna put that one down, and then I'm gonna start with this one. Okay, so same thing, I'm gonna try and pick somewhere along the side so that way it seems like the seams are lining up here. And so I'm just going to go like right about there. And I'm gonna do the same thing, starting with just 2 taps here. I'm gonna pick it up. So I've got my orientation one more time because, oh wait, so it's this way. And just one more time before I start gluing. Because you don't want to get started and then uh-oh. It didn't work. Okay. So I've got my 2 glued down right there. And so I'm going to add glue to the next 2 right here. And I'm just once again pressing it down and just taking my time as I'm doing it. And I'm using the glue that's seeping out to just kind of wipe it along here. And that's just creating more of a seal. And again, I should have just done the one. So I'm going to grab this one here. And then I might have to pull this one down too. And let's grab this one. All right. So I'm going to hold this here, give it a chance to bond before I go to the next 2. I'm going to change the side, and then I'm going to do the next 2. And again, just pressing everything down. All right. So I think I will speed up the video here because this is basically just going to be the same steps. What will only take me a couple of seconds might actually take me more like 5 minutes. And so just for the sake of the video and not making this one a crazy long file, I'm just going to speed it up here. Okay, so here we go again. All right, I'm just kind of pushing it out at some spots here to make sure that it's getting right along the edge. And so there, you can see it, the top part, okay? And so when you're ready, you can just take it, and you might need to just kind of like, hopefully you saw that. You might need to just kind of squeeze it just a little bit, and then there you go. And so it fits right on top. So this will be actually one of those ones that might be a little tricky to actually open it because it fits very nice and snug, okay? But you can see, and I love it. This is so fun. Okay, so now let's add the top part here of the apple, because otherwise this is just kind of lonely by itself, right? Okay, so again, check the orientation here. It is this way. You want to make sure that you're getting it lined up just right. This one's going to go that way, and then this one will go this way as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to hold this one here in my hand. I'm going to kind of switch things around, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right here just to the bottom part. The stem part of this here, it's going to hang off only because I did that one only because I didn't want to, oh, do you know what? I forgot to add it to this part here. I didn't want to add an extra spot for us to, see, I'm talking too much. I didn't want to add an extra spot for us to try and to make that stem part of the 3D shape. I just thought that would be really tough for us. Hopefully I didn't just mess it up. Phew. For a second, I thought I had it wrong. That was just a hot moment there. Okay. And so this part's going to go there like that. And so I'm going to add the glue again, just to this part. And because I know like those two are not there, I'm good to go. And so I'm just going to place this one right on top here. And that looks pretty good. And then it's just going to sit right here on top. So this is also one of those ones too that if you wanted, if you didn't want to make it like a poison apple, you could make it a caramel apple and just kind of, instead of cutting this top layer out with the lime green, you could go ahead and use like a yellow brown caramel color. And then you could make caramel apples instead of poison apples. You know, that's always a possibility. Okay, and so I'm just going to add this one right there. I just needed to be able to see it as I lined it up. And there we go. So that finishes it. Just a fun little box. You know, you could add it as decor onto a table, or you could use it for something else, and then it opens and it closes. And so there's the opening. You can see it there. This part's not so pretty, but that's okay because it's just the top. And then you can close it, and there we go. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and happy crafting.